think this is the way it has been. It's the history of the South is because we've been brought up like this. We have been taught like this. And we teach our children like this. And they'll teach their children like that. This is the way it has been. It's the history of the South is because we've been brought up like this. We have been taught like this. And we teach our children like this. And they'll teach their children like that. I think it is a matter that has been history all down through the years and will remain history. The Negro is not a part of my family. As a result, I don't elect to have him sit and eat with me. As a result, I don't elect to have him belong to a club that I may belong to. I don't elect to be.
For Judge Obar, as for most Southern whites, out of the past has come a philosophy he calls the Southern way of life. The Negro and his place is at the heart of it.
I've also heard a number of times that the colored and the white were not equal under the law. That's true. The colored gets the break and the white man doesn't. For instance, two men, one white and one colored, breaks into a store here. In all probability, the colored man would get a very light sentence, and the white man would get a heavy sentence. But that's not equality under the law.
Well, I guess it's just plain born in us, instilled in us. In spite of the fact that you have great respect for some Negro individuals, respect them as people, and not just as a servant. There is some physical revulsion, I think, that the skin is dark. And I guess it's just something that we are so familiar with, it's just impossible, really, to overcome it.
For 11 million Negroes in the South, there is also a Southern way of life. But rarely have they been asked for their interpretation.
Well, the white man feels this, that if the Negro get equal education, then he will be out of his reach to do the job that he heretofore have done for him, and he figured that he was going to have to pay the Negro equal salary that he would have to pay the other boy, which actually is not the skin of the Negro that the white man dreads. It's the Negro is going to demand the dollar that the white man demands.
This is the way it is.
This is going to be a hot take, and it's either going to get me canceled or people are going to be like, you're right. So here we go. I'm just going to say it. Black people have got to stop hanging out with groups of white people. And I mean that. If you're going to be the only black person in that group, go home. Go home. Because these days, you just can't trust white people anymore. Obviously. It happens time and time and time again. You see one black person hanging out with their group of white friends, and they're like, oh, I've known these guys for forever. We grew up with them. I'm the only black person in the high school or something like that, especially down here in the South, okay? Down here in the South. Obviously, we realize that these pieces of crap, the white people, will turn on you. They will turn on you quick. So not only do y'all have to be worried about the police, now you need to be worried about your group of white friends that you grew up with. And am I saying every white person's like that? No, obviously not. Okay, but better be safe than sorry, right? And that's a shame. But I just keep seeing it happen. And like over the past 2 or 3 years, especially, if you know what I'm talking about, people have just gotten louder and prouder about it. So really, it all boils down to a lack of empathy these days. That's a whole nother subject though. But yeah, it don't come from me about my hair. I just got them running 5 miles. This is gonna be hot.
Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Wakak Wadash. This your Akim Lazel back with another quick lesson. And you can tell by the open topic, it's by Esau Edom, man. It's a proclaimed white man. And right there is a collage of videos, one that was pretty much aired back in 1965. And this judge, Edomite, was pretty much professing how he feels about you so-called Negroes, man. And that also equates to you Native Americans and Mexicans/Latinos, man. They all feel this way about you, meaning that they have a disdain for you, man, you know. And pretty much this lesson, I have what you want to say, a twofold really feel about it, man, because really, man, I don't care. Really, I hope these Negroes do continue to confide in these pale faces. Then you're going to get what you deserve, man, you know, because that's what these niggas been doing for the longest, man. They try to lean on these pale faces, trying to befriend them in efforts to what? Have some or gain some type of, status in this devil society, and basically try to demonize or throw other so-called black people under the bus, and they can rub elbows and kumbaya with their slave master, man. But what's been, just like this Edomite chick right here has been saying, hey, these Negroes that they thought they was friends of these Edomites, man, what happened? What's been happening to them, man? They've been ending up deleted, man. And like the advice that she said, tell my go home. She don't care if you so-called grew up with these white people. You've been knowing them since childhood. She said, don't care. She said, leave. Especially if you're the only one there, leave. But me, I don't care. I'm hoping, you know what I mean? I hope you still confined to these pale faces, and then you get what you deserve, man. But that's how a lot of these Negroes do. They confine to them because they want some type of status, some type of sense of acceptance in the society, while they trying to shun other so-called black people and just give off some facade as if that, hey, you don't like, it's just some black people that you don't like. You necessarily don't like us all. So because you like me, you just don't like some of them, like him. They're trying to unite this nigga, and this Edomite was trying to unite off of another black person, man. That's how a lot of these niggas be. So that's why I said I have a two feelings to this, man. To say the least, man. There's another word that I can't come up with that will explain it more specifically. But it's two. I got two. It's a split, because basically, I'm doing this lesson to give awareness, and then again, I don't really necessarily care. I hope these Negroes still confined to these devils, and then you're gonna finally get what you deserve, man. Because like she said, there's time and time again you see these episodes of these Negroes thinking that they was friends with the Edomites, and then what they do, like she said, they would turn on you quick. Especially if the odds is against you, man. They'll show you their true feelings, man. They don't like you niggas, man. Because they're the devil, man. They are, they are masters of deception, man. They'll deceive you to make you believe that they're your friend, just to get you close. And then when the opportunity arises, man, they'll show you their true colors, man. They're red, crimson, the Edomite, who they really are, man. And I'm going to go into the book of Ecclesiasticus 12:10. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away, man. Then you're going to realize, you got to take heed to these devils, man, because like I said, they're the ultimate deceiver, man. They'll put up a facade long enough to gain your trust, and then when the right opportunity arises, man, they'll show you their true colors. Crimson, red, that Edomite, man, it's gonna come forth, because he has a perpetual hatred for Jake, man. And then he's going to show it. You know, that's why you see in the news and all this other things that's going around of these Negroes being strung up, you know what I'm saying, quite often. That shit probably been going on, but they just haven't been getting the coverage that they need or making it public. You know, you never know, man. The shit could have still been going on. But now they want to, because a certain person, the commander-in-chief, you know, their saviors in office, they want to gloat about it. These devils could have been still doing this, been doing this, man. They just haven't been airing it. You never know, man. You know. But yeah, that's what these devils are. And it says what? Ecclesiastes 12 and 11 again, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, meaning what? He humble himself. He's making himself appears to be friendly, kind, not the same person that he was back in 1965, like this judge, Edomite judge says, talking about what? They was taught that. He taught his children that, and his children's gonna teach their children, and so on and so forth. And that's true to this day, man. They do teach them that, man. You know, they teach them that side of history, man. Basically, they teach them to be the way they are, man. You know, it basically is in their DNA, but they pretty much gloat about it, you know, to their generations, man. You know, and really let them know how they feel about, you know, Jake, man. Especially Negroes, man. But that also equates to the Latinos and Native Americans, man. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Meaning that this devil did not change, man. You know what I'm saying? How much he tried to appear as some approachable, trustworthy, honest Abe, or whatever you may have, just this disguise he put on, man. He going, you know, he's the devil, man. He's not to be trusted, man. You know. But these Negroes, man, like I said, I got two sides to this. Cause actually, personally, I don't care, man. I hope these niggas still confide to these devils, and then these damn sellout coon niggas get what they deserve, man. You know, cause that's what they do. They rather hang with these devils than try to, they rather hang with these devils and throw a so-called black person that they have no really idea who this person is under the buff, man, just to be spiteful, man. Cause I see it myself, man. You know, I see it from these niggas, man. They trying to unite with some pale face off the strength of me. You know, I'm their glue that bond them and these coon niggas and they slave masters, man. You know, so I don't really care. But nonetheless, the truth is being shown about these devils and how they really feel about these niggas, man. You know, but I'm going to end it off there, man. Hope the body was edified. Till next time, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Wakakwadash. Again, it's your Akim Majulazil. Lord willing, I'll be back with another lesson. Till next time, Shalom, Barakatham, and a Baba Ball. Shalom.